Hey, I get it. When you're scrolling through endless TV bundles, the biggest question is always, will this actually improve my movie nights, or am I just throwing money at another big screen and a fancy soundbar that I'll never notice? You don't want to end up with a massive OLED that looks great on paper but lives in a corner because the audio just doesn't cut it, or a soundbar that promises Dolby Atmos but sounds like a cheap Bluetooth speaker in your living room. If you're hesitating because you've seen a lot of hype and a few warning signs about overpaying for the latest tech, stick around. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So let's break down the LG 77-inch OLED C6 TV paired with the H7 soundbar. This bundle is clearly aimed at people who want a premium home theater feel without stepping into a dedicated cinema room. The TV itself is an OLED Evo with AI-driven 4K upscaling, perfect blacks, and a brightness booster that tries to push OLED into brighter rooms. The soundbar, marketed as the world's first Dolby Atmos FlexConnect, adds a subwoofer and claims to deliver spatial audio that fills the space. First off, who should buy this? If you have a medium-tonnage living space, think a 15+ square meter room, and you already own a decent streaming device or a gaming console, this bundle could be a genuine upgrade. The 77-inch screen is a size that makes a visual impact, especially for 4K content, and the OLED panel's ability to hit true black means you'll finally see those shadow details in darker movies that get lost on a typical LED panel. Pair that with the H7 soundbar, and you get a dedicated center channel, left-right drivers, and a wireless subwoofer, which together aim to give you clearer dialogue and a deeper low end than you'd get from built-in TV speakers. Now, who should skip it? If your room is on the smaller side, say a studio apartment or a bedroom, and you're looking for a subtle upgrade, the 77-inch size could dominate the space and the soundbar might feel overkill. Also, if you already have a high-end AV receiver and a multi-speaker setup, adding this soundbar probably won't add anything new. You'd be better off keeping what you have. Finally, if you're on a tight budget, this bundle isn't the place to stretch every dollar. There are smaller OLED models and more affordable soundbars that still give a solid experience. Let's get into the practical strengths. The biggest win for the TV is the combination of AI upscaling and the new Brightness Booster Pro. In real-world use, I've noticed that when you throw a 2018 1080p movie onto the OLED, the AI processor actually smooths out the edges and makes the picture feel sharper than you'd expect from a simple upscale. That matters for people who have a library of older content or who binge Netflix shows that weren't originally shot in 4K. The perfect black capability shines in dimly lit rooms. Horror fans will love the way shadows stay true to the director's intent without looking washed out. The H7 soundbar's key strength is its FlexConnect system. What that means in practice is that the subwoofer can be placed anywhere in the room, on a shelf, under a couch, or even in a corner, and the soundbar's internal processing will adjust to keep the bass balanced. On a test run, placing the subwoofer in a corner gave you a noticeable boost in low frequencies without making the mids sound muddy, which is a common complaint on cheaper soundbars. Dialogue clarity is genuinely better than most TV-integrated speakers. The center channel isolates speech so you can follow fast-talking plots without straining. For sports fans, that clarity helps when the commentator's voice competes with crowd noise. But there are practical weaknesses, too. The biggest gripe is the lack of true surround effect. Even though the H7 claims Dolby Atmos, it only has upward-firing drivers on the soundbar itself, no dedicated rear speakers. In a large room, you'll hear a sense of height, but the envelopment that true Atmos setups provide is missing. If you've ever sat in a home theater with a full 5.1 or 7.1 system, you'll notice the difference. Also, the remote is shared between the TV and the soundbar, which can feel clunky. Pressing the volume button on the remote sometimes adjusts the TV's internal speakers instead of the soundbar, requiring you to toggle a button on the screen to change the audio source. It's a minor annoyance, but it can interrupt a binge-watch session. Another point to watch is the TV's brightness boost. While the feature works well in dim rooms, in a bright living space with lots of windows, you may still notice some glare on the screen. OLED panels naturally have lower peak luminance than high-end LED panels, so if you're watching daytime TV with a lot of ambient light, the picture might not be as punchy as you hoped. The bundle doesn't include any window tinting solutions, so you'll need to rely on curtains or a dimmer switch to